Yo, what's up, guys? It's Links. Had a conversation the other day with somebody, and they were very frustrated about one of their children's parents not being in the picture, and they're almost a decade old, and basically it's too hard to communicate, it's too hard to be around, to see the other parent. Stand up and stick your chin out and say, I made a mistake, or this is my fault, and I owe this child as much as I can give it, as much as free time I have for them. I owe this child my presence, I never thought I would my response was more of like, hey, you gotta be kind of more understanding that they have maybe it's too hard for them. Maybe them not being around is gonna keep them alive, and them not, unliving themselves, because the reality of the situation is too painful to live in, so running away is easier. Trust me, I have so many times, so many feelings that I just want to run away. I want to disappear. But if I do that, I leave 4 children wondering, why did I run away? Was it because of that? Now keep in mind, if God or life or my path seems to take a course where I need to pursue my dreams for the financial stability for my family and loved ones, then I will do it. I will sacrifice. I will be a man and sacrifice my time and memories with my family to make sure they have financial stability. I will do that for the right spouse, or any spouse that I choose to commit myself to, and for my children, and for my purpose, and for God giving me a life. I would definitely show them that I was worth it. I was worth the soul. And so back to the point where I rebutted, where it's like I was sticking up for this person, but I wasn't necessarily sticking up for this person. I was actually trying to make it easier for the other person to let go of the anger, because I totally understand that. I feel the same way. I'm angry, I'm upset, I'm sad, all these different things, because I never thought that I would do it. I never thought I'd be part of 2 situations where my children were from split homes, and let alone one of the situations I can't even have a decent co-parenting. Everything's a secret, everything's a game, everything's, any type of little anything I'm gonna hurt you with. Any type of vulnerability, I'm gonna take advantage of. And that right there is that's a person that doesn't fear God, that doesn't fear karma, that doesn't fear any consequences or have no sense of accountability. In a nutshell, a lot of people say immaturity, ignorant, naive, fair weather, as she was labeled. That person was only in a commitment, only had a marriage with me because the weather was fair. But as soon as the storm came, she jumped ship. But I have to sit here and accept that I'm in this situation. And so it's very frustrating. It's very hard to let go of some anger when the person that you got yourself involved with is just choosing not to step up their game, not to be involved, not to commit, not to have discipline and endurance and commitment and loyalty. They just choose not to. Either you're not worth it or the children aren't worth it. But let me just tell you something. When someone forfeits that type of opportunity, that is your blessing. That something better and something more is coming for you. and you enjoy it. But the mental stability is very, very difficult when it comes to, you know, a man giving up everything. So, with that being said, we have to make sure we pay attention to what we say to our children, for our children, and we have to be understanding, and we have to stop trying to make the other person afraid or not want to be around. So now, whether that means having someone else involved in the pickup and drop-offs, or setting up an exact time where your kid is going to answer the phone by themselves, so they don't have to see you and go through all kinds of mixed emotions. But there's ways around it. So, women, I'm so sorry that a lot of these men aren't as strong as they used to be, and you guys are all looking for real men, and then we have this confusion of real men trying to tell you what to do and trying to control you and all this stuff. But then when things hit the fan, when they lose their job, when their commitment and loyalty is being tested through hardships and endeavors, I apologize that some of these men, run away, or they're not strong enough to show up for their children. But you have to understand that it goes both ways. We didn't always choose to be a father. A lot of women didn't give us any choice, and we were proud to have that gift. But now you're forcing us to continue this gift that we were only committed to you and to, yes, the child, the homeland, was to keep everything together. So that's where the commitment is. And once that's all fell apart, it's hard to pick up your child and to be able to look them in the eyes as like you're the hero. You feel like a failure. Their mother's struggling, their father's struggling because of the split, because of the breakup, because of all this. So it is mentally challenged. So I'm going to apologize for some of these men out here for not showing up. But at the end of the day, not all men are like that. A lot of women can judge me on my tattoos and, the way I talk and the way I conduct myself. I really don't give a fuck. I don't really care what I say, because I'm going to say and do, for the most part, what I think is right for me and my loved ones and anybody else that wants to sit at the table and have good intentions. That's what I'm going to do. So I really don't care. So I'm going to show up, and I think all you guys need to show up. But, women, we made these men soft. You made these men soft. You allowed them to be vulnerable. You allowed them to open up. But then again, at the end of the day, we allowed them to have mental struggles by not treating them like men, letting them have the say-so, raising them up like men. So help us be stronger women. Help us be what you need us to be, and we'll help you be what you need to be. To be softer around us masculine. So I'm going to keep on showing up. I'm going to keep on saying and doing what I want to do, as long as it's for the greater good of my family and anybody else around and in the community, and that believes in doing good and that contributes to community. We have to find a way to bring that mind up, all right? Let's enhance the mind, all right, guys? Deuces.